Hello, all, and welcome to All Red. We are back here with Aaron today, and we are going to talk about three key players that Arne Slot is looking like he's unlocking this season for Liverpool. And let's jump right into it because Aaron, this is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's all red. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Oh, we love subscribers; they're the best, and we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel as we continue to build the best LFC channel in the world. All right, we're gonna jump right into this. Number one on the list, Ryan Gravenberch. I don't think this is gonna surprise anybody because Ryan's been perhaps outside of that Arsenal match, he's been the best midfielder in England. And I know that's high praise, but I think it's true. Don't you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, at least even with the Arsenal game wrapped up in there as well, Sam, you can argue that Ryan Gravenberch's been the best in his position, in the league. Even with that Arsenal game thrown in there, he had a tough day at the office in the first half against Arsenal. He did some good things. He struggled a little bit at times with the pace. Arsenal moved the ball really quickly. But I think ultimately, he didn't have a bad game. He just wasn't his excellent self in that game as well. You know, I think he just had a tough game against a good team, a very good team. Yeah, absolutely. Steven Gerrard wasn't amazing for 100% of his games. Yeah. But when he was on form, he was unplayable. And, Gravenberch has had some unplayable games this season where he's ran through midfields like they didn't exist.
Right. Yes, he's shown, I think he statistically is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League this season. Mm-hmm. One of the key stats there is 48 ball recoveries in just 8 Premier League games. That's more than anybody else in the Premier League. So he's not just doing things in possession. He's actually been a very good defensive midfielder. There's been now, what has it been, 2 months of football where Ryan Gravenberch has been the best player in almost every game that Liverpool's played where he's in. That's incredible for a kid that didn't feature a whole lot last season, coming into a team with so many big names like Liverpool and just absolutely taking charge. And Arne Slot seems to have come in and he seems to have known exactly what he needs to do with Ryan Gravenberch, and it's worked. And it's very, very good. Very good.
Just to put a bit of respect on Ryan Gravenberch's name, this guy's also starting for Holland in the centre midfield as well. And he's playing very well for Holland as well. Yeah. Every time I see him, he is one of the standout performers in that Dutch team who are, filled with superstars. Yep. So, fair play to Ryan Gravenberch. Literally turned his career around by a new manager coming in and just having a bit of faith in him.
Yeah, playing him in the right position and playing the system around him, and he's done very, very well. Another one on this list, probably not a big surprise. By the way, the number 3 on this list might surprise some people, but we'll get there.
My man,
Konate. I've been calling him Beast Boy because he's just so strong, and he's got a 6'5" frame, and it's just physically, like I look at this guy play and I'm like, I would never want to go try to take the ball through him or get the ball off of him. Like it would physically hurt. Like he pounds people, man. Like you looked at that game against, was it Havertz or Martinelli? Most of the time, I think it was Martinelli. Konate was just beating him up, man. Like physically, just beating him up, like, and taking the ball away. He was probably the man of the match for Liverpool against Arsenal, just because, I mean, he was, Aaron, you just mentioned this. He was our anchor back there, like more so than Van Dijk. And when you can have a center back outplay Virgil van Dijk, something is going very, very right there. Alongside of Virgil van Dijk, not to brag on him at all, Konate and Van Dijk have been by far the best center back pairing in England this season.
Agreed.
Obviously, the lowest goals against in the Premier League, only 1 goal against in 3 Champions League matches, and only 1 in the Carabao Cup. That's 7 goals against in 13 matches for this center back pairing. Very, very good.
I think one of the things that you raised there a second ago, Sam, was Martinelli against Ibrahima Konate. I remember Martinelli a year or two ago. I can't remember. It was against Arsenal. And I remember Martinelli really ruffling Matip, pushing Matip around a little bit.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen against Konate.
No.
Matip got nudged. I think it might have been for one of the goals for Arsenal. Maybe last season when we got beat 3-1. I can't remember. But it was against Arsenal specifically. And I remember Martinelli going into a 50-50 challenge with Matip. And he nudged, he really pushed Matip off the ball. Mate, he's bouncing off Konate all day. Konate is a beast, mate, and you've got the right name for him there, mate. He is the beast boy.
He is.
How scary is it? How scary is it, Sam? You play with Virgil van Dijk at your club level. You play with Saliba at international level. Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and again, another player that, Konate was not bad under Klopp. Maybe the biggest fault he had was just injuries and not really getting a good run of play in. But Konate seems durable. He seems strong. Anything can happen at any time. But Arne Slot's found a way to get Konate into every single game for Liverpool with really no sign of slowing. And that's a testament, I think, to the controlled way that Liverpool defends, the controlled way that they now play. That's a huge part, I think, for Konate, is just keeping him fit, keeping him in different matches, and just letting him just be himself alongside of probably the best to ever do it in Virgil van Dijk.
Quality player, Van Dijk, exceptional. And I mean, he's coming towards the back end of his career, mate, but he still looks quality. He still looks a great player.
Still amazing. All right, this is number 3. Now, this is going to split opinions. Aaron, I already know this because we've been getting a lot of comments because we've talked about Darwin Núñez in the last week and how he's starting to really get better. He's starting to do the little things right for Arne Slot. And since Jota went down with an injury, Darwin Núñez has come in and he's impressed me. I think he's impressed you, Aaron. And still, there's going to be, there's always going to be people who are hating on him, but people are still like, well, he's not scoring goals, and he's not, he doesn't have 12 goals like Erling Haaland does. Darwin Núñez still can't hit the back of the net, and he's not arrived yet. This video is not saying these 3 players are now world class and they're perfect players, but Darwin Núñez is taking the little steps to do the little things right, and look at the results in the past week, 2 weeks. 17 duels, 8 defensive actions against Chelsea. Probably not what you want to see out of your striker. But Aaron, you and I have talked about Darwin Núñez's tenacity and his ability to get all over the pitch, perhaps reading the game a little bit to know, like, I need to go back and help out my left back right now. I need to go back and just get the ball for myself because I haven't touched it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He scored the winner against Leipzig, and he had the decisive, beautiful, beautiful assist to Mohamed Salah to salvage a point against Arsenal. So what are your thoughts? What are you seeing from Darwin Núñez in this past, 2-week spell, Aaron?
I have to say, I agree with the comments. So, I think comments are fair. I think, some of the comments were very sort of pinpointing the fact that he is a number 9. Yep. And that, you're what you expect from a number 9 is to go out there and score goals, or at least create goals. Now, he's not in great goal scoring form, but one thing that you cannot fault at the moment is his work rate. He is working exceptionally hard, and actually, he is starting to just get his timing a little bit better, releasing the ball. His runs, the timing of his runs. Remember how frustrating it used to be? Only recently, just constantly offside. He's starting to time them runs a little tiny bit more. He's not bending his runs completely all the time, but he is starting to just hold off a second before he starts. He's got the pace to get away from defenders 7-8 times out of 10. Maybe not Saliba. A Saliba will keep pace for pace, stride for stride with him. A Konate would keep pace for pace, stride for stride with him. But a high percentage of centre-backs, once Darwin Núñez is off, there's not a lot of them that are catching him. So if he can get that, if he can continue that timing, the goals will start coming, And if he continues developing this relationship with Salah, I mean, who knows, how many more goal contributions he will have between him and Salah, and whether or not they can recreate, a relationship that was amazing between, Bobby Firmino and Salah at one point. He hasn't quite got Bobby Firmino's qualities. I'm not saying that.
Nope.
And I know that might split a few opinions, but, Nunes is working hard. His passing is developing. Maybe he's learning the English language a little bit better as well, Sam.
Yeah.
That could be a big thing. Maybe he's starting to learn a little bit more, but he certainly looks a much better, hungrier, and fitter player.
Yeah, and I think there's maybe just a level of wisdom that we're starting to see from him. Arne Slot has a reputation for coming in and working with players like Darwin Núñez, who have the skills, they have the physical capabilities, but they just haven't figured out the mental side. He did that with Orkun Kokcu, and unlocked a fantastic player. And it was all mental. And so I think what we're starting to see here, I hope what we're starting to see with Darwin Núñez is that mental side of the game, to slow things down in your head, make the right decisions, do the little things right. And in Darwin Núñez's defense, he hasn't had loads and loads of chances like he's had in the past. In these, the past 2 weeks, he's not getting 8 or 9 chances at goal like he has in previous, spells where, he gets 8 or 9 chances, 3 of them go off the woodwork and he misses the rest. He is, and maybe that's part of just slowing down, playing more controlled. But I also think it's just a testament to actually our team in attack not being as good as we have been in the past. If we can figure out those things, I'm hopeful that Darwin Núñez can start scoring and start getting more and more chances to gain that confidence in front of goal. I think it's there. I think we just have to unlock it some more. So I'm really encouraged by Darwin Núñez. This is the guy that for the past 2 to 3 years, he's the one guy on the team sheet. I just want him to figure it out. I love watching him play. I love his attitude. I love his, never say die attitude. Like he said it, I think before the season started. Hey, I might miss 10 chances. I'm going to come back for the 11th, and I'm going to try to put it in the back of the net. That's what we need, man. That's all we can ask from players.
It's a great attitude.
Absolutely. So
I think it could be down to Slot's eye for detail, Sam. Honestly, I believe Slot has maybe just identified that thing in Núñez where them rash shots and just rushing everything is the reason why this guy's having a bit of a torrid time in front of goal, and whether or not he's just working on him just to slow him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Salah gets praised constantly. Salah can run at full pace, get onto the end of a ball, slow his run down, and just pick his shot.
Yep.
Núñez needs to learn that last bit, and I think he's got the pace. He just, whether you can slow him down enough, because he's a whirlwind. This lad is chaotic.
He is.
Fingers crossed, mate, it works.
Absolutely. Let us know what you think in the comments. Did we get him right? Did we miss anybody? Is there anybody else on the team you think that Arne Slot has really figured out that maybe wasn't performing in years past? Let us know in the comments, and as always, up the Reds.
Yeah, of course.